Greetings everyone, welcome to the Megaman issue 54 review. We have 2 issues left before this series goes on hiatus. Why? The previous issue had Megaman ready to hang up his helmet as the world is seemingly at peace. But a world domination declaration by Dr. Cossack has the Blue Bombers suit up again. Dr. Light did say something's not right about Cossack and his attacks, and his instincts would be correct. Dr. Wily's behind this scheme, having kidnapped Kalinka to blackmail Cossack to attack Megaman. Today's story is related to this incident as we focus on the first Son of Light and see where he ultimately ends up. Our story begins sometime before the events of Mega Man 53. A helmetless Brakeman ponders his next move, including going home, until he spots Shadow Man on the helmet's reflection. The two briefly fight before Shadow Man reveals why he's here, to inform Brakeman that Wily's alive, and to give him the teleportation coordinates to his current hideout. As the two arrive, Wily welcomes Brakeman before chastising him for not stopping Mega Man back at Light Labs. But as Wily states, he's not giving up, and we can see Wily's been busy with numerous plans. I see familiar Robot Master parts and blueprints here. More on that later. Wily tells Brakeman his newest plan: get Dr. Cossack and Mega Man to fight each other. As part of this plan, Wily wants Brakeman to kidnap Kalinka. Brakeman's not up for it. He only joined Wily so that he can help Wily get some recognition and revenge against Dr. Light. But stuff like kidnapping innocent children is crossing the line, so he's going to quit, believing that Wily's fixed his power core, and that's that. But Wily left off one important detail. He replaced the original flawed core with a nuclear one, yes, but said nuclear core is unstable, and if not maintenance by Wily, well, it might get nasty if it went off in a populated area. And we get a brofist between Wily and Shadow Man. Not as funny as the high five from last issue, and not as epic as the evil brofist between Eggman and Wily. We cut to Kalinka at a school playground where she notices a robotic bird nearby. Sweetie, it's not a good idea to follow this bird because it's none other than Dr. Wily's bird, Reggae. Sure enough, she runs into a disguised Brakeman. Her curiosity about Reggae leads to Brakeman putting a teleportation harness on Kalinka, and yes, we just witnessed the kidnapping. Back at the hideout, Wily compliments Brakeman on a job well done and leaves to contact Cossack. If there's any microscopic piece of sympathy left for this guy, especially after the events of the Mega Man 3 arc, it's officially gone. Next we head to GeoWorks where a new Robot Master, Vesper Woman, wants Quake Woman to come along with her for botanical cataloging. But Quake Woman wants to finish studying rock samples first. Vesper Woman teases Quake Woman about it before flying off. Not long after, Quake Woman finds Brakeman behind the sample truck. Brakeman apologizes for the last time he came by. Quake Woman not only brings up said incident, but his involvement in Light Labs burning down. Yes, throw more salt on the proverbial wound. But Brakeman had nowhere else to go, and Quake Woman's actually going to listen. So we learn Brakeman's problem. He wasn't programmed with a specific purpose, just be, and he was afraid of Light changing his personality, so he ran away. And since then, he doesn't know who he is anymore. And while trying to figure things out, he's heard both Roll and Mega Man. Quake Woman did hear how he rescued Mega Man from Dr. Wily's castle after the Gamma incident, but Brakeman feels it's not enough. Vesper Woman interrupts the two. There's of course teasing and introductions all around. But in all seriousness, we learn Vesper Woman was an unused Robot Master by Dr. Light that Dr. Lalande completed. She serves two functions. One, to serve as a pollinator and botanical cataloger, and 2, to provide Tempo with a little sister to help her rediscover her emotions. Yeah, it's really working so far. They head over to Dr. Lalande, and she's less than thrilled to see Brakeman. Again, understandable. Brakeman, screw it. Blues explains the nuclear core situation and wants to know how far he should go so that he won't hurt people. Wait, does this mean he's considering suicide? Tempo, however, doesn't detect any dangerous levels of radiation, and Dr. Lalande wants to examine him further. Her analysis indicates that the casing is securely sealed, meaning no explosion. But if Blues were to fight, Let's just say that his shield would be his lifesaver. Even then, the core is unstable and would eventually burn out his systems. Bottom line, Blues is on borrowed time. Again. Blues realizes that Wily was using him from the start, and now Kalinka's life is in danger. He wants to start making up for it, and with everyone focusing on Mega Man, no one would notice his actions. Dr. Linde admits that the core problem is beyond her expertise, but Dr. Light might be able to fix it. Blues believes that he hasn't earned Dr. Light's help or love, even though Dr. Linde points out that the Light family will accept him. Blues asks to keep this meeting here a secret, and then makes some strategic alterations to his helmet, claiming that he also hasn't earned the right to be called Dr. Light's son. Instead, he'll embrace his status as the first Robot Master and rechristians himself Proto Man. This issue continues the themes of finality, and the adventure continues from last time, only this time with Blues as center stage. Wily's plan involving kidnapping Kalinka was the breaking point for him, no pun intended. In fact, Blues wanted out before kidnapping Kalinka, but Wily planned for just such an occasion, making the nuclear core a bit unstable. Think of it as a restraining bolt from Wily's point of view. But Wily's mistake was Blues going to someone else to confirm that the nuclear core's only victim would be Blues himself, whether it be a direct hit or burning out the systems eventually. This brings Blues back full circle, as he was originally created with a flawed solar core that would eventually burn out without maintenance. He ran away from Light because he was afraid fixing the energy problem would somehow alter his personality. He traveled the world for years without purpose because, at the time, he was the only one of his kind. He knew he would eventually die and decided to end his life on his terms, and he succeeded. But he didn't count on Wily being in the area. With the revelation of the nuclear core, Blues is essentially back to square one. He has a faulty power source that will eventually kill him without maintenance. But this time, he has a clear purpose, atoning for his actions while he worked for Wily, help Mega Man in secret, and eventually making himself worthy to return home. Breaking his helmet, and I swear folks, I am not doing this on purpose, and embracing his status as the prototype Robot Master represents this change in status. And I should point out that this brings Proto Man closer to his game counterpart, as his game counterpart also had a flawed nuclear core that would eventually kill him in time. Now, Blues going to Dr. Linde provides us with some additional closure. First, it follows up on the events of issue 35. And second, we get to see Dr. Linde and Tempo at least one last time before the comic goes on hiatus. And there's a new addition to the family, Vesper Woman. Now, it's stated that she was originally one of Dr. Light's unused Robot Masters, and some hardcore fans might be thinking, she kinda looks like Honey Woman. Yeah, for those who don't know, Honey Woman was an earlier design for Mega Man 9 Robot Master Hornet Man. From what I've read, Capcom pretty much said no to using Honey Woman in the comic, so why not make a substitute character? As I stated in the summary, Vesper Woman serves two purposes. One, as a botanical cataloger and pollinator, and two, to provide Tempo with a sister so that she can hopefully rediscover her emotions. I'm speculating here, but I think that when Blues was watching the two interact, I think somewhere in his mind, he was imagining himself and Rock in this situation. Again, speculation. If we never see the Linde clan again, which is possible if the book never comes back, or comes back differently, at the very least, they're at a good place. Who's not at a good place at the moment is Kalinka. If I didn't think Wily can be any more of a douchebag, he's trying to force her to play his version of Five Nights at Freddy's. In all seriousness, folks, Proto Man will save her, as seen in Mega Man 4 the game. And we might not be seeing this moment in the comics, but anyway, it's good that Proto Man will eventually rescue her, seeing as he was the one that kidnapped her in the first place. Kalinka was caught off guard here because she was interested in Reggae, a robotic bird. She said herself that her father was also working on a robotic bird. I wonder what that will eventually lead to. Speaking of foreshadowing, Dr. Wily's workspace is filled with familiar Robot Master parts. Well, it's time to list them off. We can skip Crystal Man since I mentioned him last time. But we have other Mega Man 5 Robot Masters here, such as Starman, Gravity Man, Napalm Man, Gyro Man, and Stone Man. There's also Dark Man 3 from Proto Man's castle. This thing here, it's called a shield attacker, a common Mega Man enemy since game number 4. And this here, that's Spring Man, a Mega Man 7 Robot Master. Wily's planning that far ahead, people. The blueprints on display show locations and devices that Wily will use in future games. There's Wily Castle 5 from Mega Man 5, Mr. X's Castle from Mega Man 6, and the X Crusher also from Mega Man 6. I don't know if it was Ian Flynn's or artist Ryan Jampol's idea to include all these nods, but nice job. I thought about what score to give this issue, and I've decided on a 9.5. A great story for any Proto Man fan. The only negative I have is that this ride is about to end. So next time will be the final issue before the hiatus. Until then, have a good day and be safe. I wonder if there'll be a point in which Tempo will summon her drill to scare Vesper Woman. Frustration and annoyance are emotions, people.